Hey guys, this is Arun from Tech Configurations and welcome to the review of the Xperia M5 Dual. The Xperia M5 Dual is an upper mid-range smartphone from Sony with emphasis on camera department and the build quality. It features the classic Sony Omnibalance design with 7.6 mm thickness and weighs around 143 grams. Sony has also provided the highest IP rating for the smartphone, that is IP65 or 68, which makes it dust and water resistant, both splashes and submersion. Talking about the specs, the Xperia M5 Dual features a 5-inch Full HD display panel with Bravia Engine 2 mobile, a 64-bit octa-core MediaTek Helio X10 processor clocked at 2 GHz, 3 GB of RAM, 16 GB of internal memory, expandable up to 200 GB, 21 megapixel primary camera with X-Mode RF sensor and hybrid autofocus, 13 megapixel secondary camera and 2600 mAh battery. Talking about the design aspect of the Xperia M5 Dual, it features Sony's signature dual-glass Omnibalance design and is resistant to scratch, while the impact protection is ensured by the bumps provided at the four corners. The front panel features a dual stereo speakers on either side of the display, while the 13 megapixel secondary camera together with a notification LED are placed on the top, while there is no physical capacity buttons at the bottom since they are integrated into the display itself. The loudspeaker and the USB 2.0 are placed at the bottom, whereas the noise cancellation mic and the 3.5 mm audio port are placed on the top. The camera shutter button, the volume controls and the lock unlock key are placed on the right hand side, whereas the port for inserting the dual nano SIM and the microSD card are placed on the left. The Xperia M5 can support up to 200 GB of expandable storage, whereas both SIM slots support 4G connectivity. Since the Xperia M5 is provided with a glass panel on the back, it will attract fingerprints and houses a 21.5 megapixel primary camera sensor with LED flash and Sony logo at the middle. Now coming to the user interface, the Xperia M5 Dual runs on Android 5.0 Lollipop with good amount of customization. The overall UI felt very responsive and had separate app drawer, while the dialer was close to stock Android with no option for direct video calling, but you can always use third-party apps if you want. The messaging application does support SwiftKey and had no lag or delay in texting, whereas the drop-down menu had some customization and offered additional customizable shortcuts which include NFC, screen mirror, throw and USB device detection. The drop-down menu also offered screen brightness adjustments, but there was no option for enabling auto brightness in the drop-down menu, but we could find it in the display settings, which also means the Xperia M5 Dual supports ambient light sensor. There is also option available for multiple user profiles and two different home interface, in which the simple home interface is intended for those who prefer lighter UI experience. The main display feature includes the glove mode and the smart backlight control, which enables the display to stay lit while the user holds the device in hand. Talking about the storage, out of 16 GB, 8.24 GB is available for the user and it does support moving of apps in memory card, whereas out of 3 GB of RAM, 1.3 GB is user available. The UI also features 3 different power saving modes such as stamina mode, ultra stamina mode and low battery mode, while an additional Q background data settings optimizes the background apps for enhanced battery saving. Now coming to display quality, the Xperia M5 Dual features a 5-inch 1080p display with Bravia Engine 2, hence the display quality was great and had uniform viewing angles. The touch responsiveness was also accurate with no jitteriness even in fast zooming. Talking about the multimedia performance, the Xperia M5 is capable of handling 720p, 1080p and 4K video playback. The 720p video playback was ultra smooth as we would expect and had no buffering while skipping, whereas the 1080p video playback does have a slight buffering while skipping through the video. Now coming to the 4K video playback, even though there was no frame lag in the playback, but it did have 1 or 2 second delay in buffering when skipping through the video. Talking about the camera department, the Xperia M5 Dual features a 21.2 megapixel primary camera with hybrid autofocus and capable of 4K video recording. The primary camera does support autofocus, touch focus, face and smile detection. It also supports simultaneous video and image capturing, but didn't support touch focus while recording videos. The Xperia M5 offers a tons of camera modes, which include superior auto, manual, style portrait, AR mask, sweep panorama and many more can be downloaded directly to the camera app. Talking about the secondary camera, the Xperia M5 features a 13 megapixel sensor which support touch focus, autofocus, face detection, and all the modes available in the primary camera are available in the secondary as well. These are some of the images captured from the primary camera of Xperia M5 Dual. We have provided more sample images on our official website, so if you want you can also check that out. The link is provided in the description. Now coming to the performance aspect of the Xperia M5 Dual, it scored 34,515 in AnTuTu, which is a good score, but is definitely not the best in this price range. Whereas in eNeMark 2 it scored 60.2 FPS, which also means that you won't be having any issues in playing high-end games on this device. In the stress test, the highest CPU core temperature recorded was 52 degrees, and at that time the exterior of the device felt little warm. So in high-end gaming, it might get little hot. Now coming to the touch input, the device does support a full 10-point touch, whereas in terms of sensors, the device has accelerometer, proximity, light, magnetic and orientation sensor, but didn't have the gyro sensor. We have also tested the OTG connectivity of the Xperia M5 and it was not detecting the OTG out of the box, but we could find settings related to it in the drop-down menu as well as the storage settings. So we expect it to support OTG after a software update from Sony. Now coming to the pros and cons, the first positive thing about the device is that it does support 4G connectivity on both SIM. The second positive thing is obviously the build quality. As I already mentioned, the device is having the highest IP rating for water and dust resistance, and the Sony has also provided an additional impact protection at the corners. So the build quality is obviously the second positive thing. The third positive thing is the display quality. As I already said, the device features a 5-inch 1080p display with Bravia Engine 2 and there was no issues in the viewing angle. So I would say the display is the third positive thing. The fourth positive thing is the processor. The device features the Helio X10 chipset and we have already seen it has got a very nice the performance in AnTuTu and eNeMark 2. The fifth positive thing about the device is the camera department. As we already mentioned, the device has got 21 megapixel autofocus primary camera and 13 megapixel secondary camera capable of 4K video recording. So it is some of the best cameras you could find in this price range. So that is the fifth positive thing. The next positive thing about the device is that it features SD card expansion up to 200 GB, which is totally unparalleled in this price range. Now coming to the cons, the first negative thing about the device is that it is not having a gyro sensor, which I think is a must for a device in this price range. The second negative thing is that it has only 2600 milliamp hour battery, which might be good in normal usage, but if you are a hardcore user, it won't be enough for you. So that's pretty much about the review of the Xperia M5 Dual. If you have any more questions, you can just comment it below. I usually try to answer each and every one of them. And thanks for watching this video, and if you like this video, please hit like and stay subscribed. Thank you.